Dale Pattison is one of Canada's notorious sexual abusers. In 2012, Shane was sentenced to 5 years in prison, one of Saskatchewan's longest sentences for similar offences. Shane was caught with over 4,500 child porn images depicting extreme images of young girls under the age of 5 and was charged with 53 offences. He was released in 2015 after serving most of his sentence and was sent to a halfway house managed by the Salvation Army. Shortly after his release in March 2016, police decided to do a random check on Shane. It was part of his release conditions that checks would be done randomly. When police checked his room, they discovered Shane masturbating on his bed with an iPhone, a laptop and numerous thumb storage drives while he actively shared pornography online. The discovery led to Shane being charged and eventually pleading guilty to another 42 child pornography offenses related to child porn images and video. He also admitted to sharing 267 of the images on a social media chat app. During his trial, Shane met with a psychiatrist. During those meetings he revealed that he remembered playing mommy and daddy with a female relative at a young age. That included kissing, genital touching and attempted intercourse. He also alleged that his great-grandfather sexually abused him from age 6 until puberty. Shane's mother was also interviewed, who said she was not aware of any abuse or any indication that anything inappropriate was happening. Shane revealed that he began dating girls at age 10 and that he began regularly viewing images of child exploitation when he was 14. Also at 14, he said that he had sexual intercourse with an 8-year-old friend of his younger sister. His only significant long-term relationship was with a woman he had met when he was 16 and she was 15. They began living together when he was 19 and they eventually had a son. Shane admitted that he was aroused by anything forbidden or taboo, particularly things associated with children or childhood. He said that he did not want to hurt children, but that he did fantasize about meeting a young girl who is already sexualized. Shane stated that he found a broad range of pornography to be arousing and admitted that his focus was children. He added that his most intense sexual drives came from smelling worn women's underwear and soiled diapers. It was recommended that group and individual therapy, plus possible drug treatment, would help to reduce his sex drive. However, in the past, Shane has admitted that he became sexually aroused when others spoke about their sexual offending. In 2018, during his sentencing, Justice Richard Danieliuk had a few words for the child pornographer. "Today, words fail me when I consider your actions," he said. The English language does not have appropriate words to describe how vile, how disgusting, how disturbing all of it is. It is simply and unquestionably wrong. I don't know how you live with yourself. Even though Shane admitted his guilt, initially he tried to refute his charges, using the excuses such as, he was doing it because other people were getting away with it, that his former spouse set him up, that he was a vigilante trying to assist the authorities. Shane was ordered to serve 7 years in prison. Credit was given for time served while he was on remand, leaving him with 5.5 years before his release, which will be sometime in 2023. After his release he will be under a 10-year supervision order. He will also be added to the Canadian-wide sex offender registry for life and banned from using the internet for life, unless with conditions set by the courts. He is also banned from public parks and swimming areas, where people under the age of 16 are present. He can't be employed or volunteer in a position of trust or authority to someone under 16 unless supervised. He can't contact anyone under the age of 16. But how long will it take for Shane to actually harm a child? A time will come where just watching pornography is no longer satisfying for him. What do you think should be done with child predators? It's clear they're a danger to society and cannot be rehabilitated.
Darren Parisian of the Saskatoon Police Service is a veteran of these kinds of investigations. He says it's the worst case he's ever seen, and he doesn't know if people like this can ever change.
Clearly his interest is the sexual exploitation of children, and I'm not sure how easily something that can be switched on or off in someone, but certainly he's got a lot of years of offending under his belt that he's going to have to deal with.
Police around the world have started more than 1,300 investigations because of the information gleaned from Pattison's computers.
Repeat child pornography offender is headed back to prison today. Shane Pattison was deemed a long-term offender and was handed a federal prison sentence. As Angelina Iranisi tells us, the judge in the case had some strong words, not only for the offender, but the system itself.
Frankly, I don't know how you live with yourself. Strong words from Justice Richard Daniluk to Shane Pattison as he designated him a long-term offender. Daniluk sentenced him to 7 years in prison, followed by 10 years of supervision. Daniluk's voice broke when he said he can't escape the haunting images from Pattison's child pornography collection. This is the second prison sentence for Pattison. He was sentenced to 5 years back in 2012. The hope back then was that he'd get treatment. He didn't.
We're basically warehousing sex offenders and then re-releasing them into communities without any correction of their behavior, and that as a member of society is frightening.
Almost right after Pattison was released from his first prison stint, he was caught with child porn again. In June, he pleaded guilty to 42 more charges. The judge called it incomprehensible that Pattison didn't get any treatment even though Pattison wanted it. Pattison was deemed a low risk to reoffend when he first got to prison. That, combined with the lack of hands-on offenses, made Pattison ineligible for programming in prison. Daniluk said internet child pornography offenses should be viewed just as serious as the physical sexual abuse of children. He called upon the Correctional Service to reevaluate existing practices and put better, modern, more responsive, more flexible practices into place.
I don't think we have caught up to internet offending yet, and I think that's part of the problem.
Our goal is to protect the public. In order to protect the public, offenders need to receive treatment.
Correctional Service of Canada didn't respond in time for our deadline. Daniluk says with treatment, it is possible that Pattison may stop offending. Once he is released, he'll have strict conditions to follow, including a lifetime ban from places like parks and swimming pools and from using the internet unless it's for a reason approved by the courts. Angelina Irenisi, CTV News, Saskatoon.